All right, welcome to the Experience Better video podcast series. I'm Josh Fiekler, PT, and with me today, Jeff Gossman. I'm a PT here at the Grand Island Sports Clinic. So we're going to talk about hip injuries and specifically what Tua Tagovailoa, I think I'm saying his last name right, had a devastating injury, kind of injury you'd see like in a car accident or getting run over by a herd of buffalo or something. But
very uncommon in football, but even Nick Saban kind of said, this is a kind of a freak injury, and I may not agree with a lot of things Saban says, but he's accurate there.
Right.
And if you saw the replay, as he was hit back, two big linemen landed on him, and they basically took the head of the femur and pushed it through the posterior wall of the socket or the acetabulum of the hip, pretty much shattering his pelvis there. Dislocated the hip. They were able to reset the hip there on the field, but obviously required surgery.
Right.
Pretty complicated surgery, having to piece everything back together. Obviously he'll be done this year, potentially even next season, which now the big talk is, he was projected to go number 1 NFL draft pick. Teams are going to be pretty apprehensive to take a chance on him at this point.
Yep.
And we kind of discussed too, Bo Jackson back in the day, one of the greatest athletes to ever live.
Sure.
And he was just never the same after that. He ended up having to have a total hip replacement. Actually.
Right.
So.
Yep. So because once you disrupt that posterior wall of your hip, there's a lot of stability there, and it's never going to be 100% the same. You can anchor that, do all kinds of surgeries. But that posterior wall, that fracture, it's like a dinner plate almost that you have to kind of piece back together. It's not like a long bone in your arm or leg that you can put a rod in or put a plate on, or you can probably put a plate on it, but it's going to be like putting a puzzle back together when they have to fix that.
And there'll probably be some arthritic changes in that hip as well. And we're talking very high level athletes, and that 1% separates a college player from an NFL player, and sometimes an injury like that might be that 1%. That's the big thing. Normally that's such a strong area that's why it's so uncommon. It takes tremendous amount of force to take the bone through and just shatter that bone. So that's also what makes it such a tough recovery.
Yep. It just kind of goes to show you that just how much bigger, faster, and stronger these guys are.
Yes.
Then we're not in danger of dislocating our hips at work today. I don't think.
No.
It would take just a terrible thing.
Unless I was walking across the street and got hit by a car.
That's what it would take, and that's basically what happened to him. So, we'll wish him well and hope that he makes a speedy recovery. But like you said, probably never be the same.
Probably not.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Very good. Speaking of never be the same, or never be like it was, hopefully it'll be like it was again. Let's talk about the Huskers again. So we got Maryland coming up this weekend on the road. We're actually favored by a few points, not as many as probably be hoping for.
Sure.
But you got any thoughts, predictions?
I'm predicting they get the second win under Frost on the road.
I hope so.
It's been tough sledding, but I think they're close. And what's encouraging is you're seeing some of these younger players that have been redshirted all season come in, especially last week against Wisconsin. The offensive line looked better than it has all year against a very good defense. And part of that, I think, is getting some of these younger guys rotated in, whereas before there was really no depth there. And so I'm encouraged, and I just think we all have to be patient. But I'm hoping for a win this week and go into Kinnick when Iowa comes to town. And that'd be a great game to end the season on for momentum, for recruiting, but then also to get bowl eligible. Get those extra practices in. That's huge.
Absolutely. Yep.
So.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.